talk about the conversation this has started, and it's really about language, what we say out loud and the consequences of those. You called your opponent an existential threat on a call a week ago. You said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. There's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that.
I didn't say crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was, there was very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term is bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him.
But will the media and Democrats listen to the president when he calls to lower the temperature? While the former president was still bleeding from a bullet wound to his head, some in the press were quickly trying to blame Trump for getting shot.
Of course, President Trump and his supporters have contributed to this violent rhetoric as well.
Well, absolutely, George. We were just looking back this morning at some of the things that former President Trump has said. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That will be the least of it. He said he was partly joking and that was taken out of context. But those are indeed his words.
He is recovering from these injuries now. This was a traumatic event, no doubt, for him. But I did notice there was no call for lowering the temperature, condemning all political violence, and really trying to signal to his supporters as well not to retaliate or to have any kind of escalation here.
Jesse, I'll go to you first. You know, it's interesting. I just pulled up the quote by Joe Biden within days before the shooting is, "We're done talking about the debate. It's time to put Trump in a bullseye." Can he really lower his own tone and temperature?
He won't, because that's all the Democrats have. They have this demonization strategy that animates their base, that gets them fired up. They get ratings from it. They make money fundraising from it. So if you take that, that's basically the cornerstone of the Democrats' turnout operation, which is Trump's a threat. And without the Democrats being against Trump, they don't even know what they're for. So we'll see if they're able to table that. I doubt it. I think they just need to go into a corner and sit down and think about what they've been saying. Now, we don't know if Crooks was watching Morning Joe all day and watching Politico report the bullseye comment. We don't know if he had help. We don't know if he's one of these kooks like the Reagan assassin that was trying to impress Jodie Foster. We don't know. But we do know the stories that they've been telling about this man have been toxic, and the language has been way too hot. It's the same thing the CIA does with foreign governments that they want to overthrow. They controversialize the leader. They deplatform. They drum up stupid investigations. And then they whip up this hurricane of hostility, which makes the public so crazy they think they're in imminent danger if the leader stays around. It's damaging. It should never be done inside this country.
You know, Dana, Donald Trump has indicated that for the Republican National Convention, he had, quote, a humdinger of a speech. And he said that after the shooting, he made a decision to give a whole different speech, suggesting that speech is going to be talking about unity. And this is an opportunity for President Trump to be one of the greatest presidents.
And he says in that interview, I was given a chance to help unite the country and even the world. That might not be the exact quote, but yeah, it's along those lines. And last night in Biden's speech afterward, I said, I felt like it fell short of hitting the mark. And the reason I did is because he didn't say something like, including me. In fact, last week I said that we should be in the bullseye. Now that's a metaphor. Lots of us use metaphors. But I can see how that could be taken today. And so follow me. I will lead. I'm going to be the one who does. But because he didn't do that, Lester Holt is able to say, what about what you said? So they could have taken the sting out of it, but they decided not to do that. And just remember, you know, it was Joe Biden who said that Romney was going to put Black Americans back in chains. It was the Jim Crow 2.0. Even last night, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tweets that we have to protect the country from the fascists. So I'm not sure that the message is getting through on the left. I don't know what the end of this week will look like on that front. But yes, there is an opportunity. And I also believe that all of us use metaphors so that we can give each other a little bit of grace on that front and just say, OK, going forward, let's be a little bit more thoughtful about the language. I don't know how long that lasts, but I do appreciate the spirit of the moment.
Yes, and we'll see. And Jessica, I didn't say before, I missed arguing with you. I really did. And I'm so glad to have you back. But, you know,